In my last video, I looked at 5 halal ETFs available on Trading212. Since posting then, Trading212 has now released 3 more halal ETFs on their platform. I will be taking a look at them in this video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. As always, I will not be saying whether I believe these ETFs are halal to invest in. They are advertised as such, but you will need to do your own research. If you saw the thumbnail or read the title, you would know I am talking about the new HSBC Islamic ETFs. The first one I'll be looking at is the World Islamic ESG ETF. The ticker symbol is HIWO. It is an accumulating ETF, which means it reinvests its dividends. These are their top 10 holdings. The top holding is Microsoft and it is 13.14%, which is quite highly weighted, but I am not too worried about this holding because Microsoft is a fairly safe company, I believe. And then you've got Johnson & Johnson, the next second biggest holding. So if you just look at a quick glance of the companies, you can see that they are similar to some of the other ETFs that we've looked at. You can see this is the World ETF, so you've got Shell, which is exchanged on the London Stock Exchange. You've also got Novartis, which is on the Swiss Exchange. And then you've got other top companies such as Cisco and Procter & Gamble. So you've got quite a selection in the top 10 between tech and healthcare. So if we scroll up, we can actually see a breakdown of the different sectors. So the top sector is tech, coming to around 30%, and then you've got healthcare, which is around 25%. So the majority of this ETF is in the tech and healthcare sector. I believe this ETF only started earlier this month in December, and since then it has dropped around 3%, which is around the same amount of the S&P 500. The next ETF I will be looking at is the USA Islamic ESG ETF. The ticker symbol for this is HIUS. This is similar to the previous ETF, but is only focused in the US and not the world. These are their top 10 holdings. Their top holding is Microsoft with over 20%, which is very high. But again, it is fairly safe and also not as volatile as the other mega cap companies. The other holdings in this ETF are very similar to the previous one. Since the ETF has started, it has gone down more than 4%. The next ETF I will be looking at is the Europe Islamic ESG ETF. The ticker symbol for this is HIEU. This is a list of their top 10 holdings. We don't have much Islamic ETFs as far as I know, with a main concentration in Europe, so this is interesting. You've got Novartis and Shell, which I believe were on the World ETF, but also other companies like SAP, L'Oreal, GSK and BP. I'm very familiar with these companies, being from the UK. Interestingly, their portfolio allocation is mainly in healthcare and basic materials. Tech is further down the list, which is not usually the case for most ETFs. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find much information about their performance. If you made it this far, then I would appreciate if you could like and subscribe. I do have more content planned, not just for ETFs, but also looking at individual companies and their valuation. So if you are interested in that, then do subscribe.